Hey folks, how you all doing? Lloyd here, or Mr. Hats as I'm known in the VC. So today I'm going to be ranking the 8 studio albums by John Lennon. This goes from 1970's John Lennon Plastic Ono Band album through to 1984's Milk and Honey. I'm not doing the 3 unlistenable crap avant-garde things that he did before that, because they really are unlistenable. Anyone that tells you they're not need their heads read. Basically, they are really unlistenable albums. So I'll go for the 8 that are proper John Lennon albums. So anyone that knows my channel knows I'm not a fan of covers albums. I'm a fan of songs that are covers that are done well by artists, but just not complete albums. So it's pretty obvious to you guys from my previous channel and here, and to me, that number 8 on my list was always going to be this album, Rock and Roll, released in 1975. It's his rock and roll album, basically. It's a covers album, 1950s and early 60s songs. Yeah, to me, there's really not much on this album to like. I do like his version of Slippin' and Slidin' on here. I like his version of Peggy Sue, Bring It On Home to Me, Send Me Some Lovin', but I really love his version of Stand By Me. I'm a big fan of Ben E. King, but I think John Lennon's version supersedes that by a million miles. But yeah, just really not a big fan. This album comes in at 3 out of 10 for me. Number 7 on my list. This might surprise some people, it may not others. I've got 1973's Mind Games. Look, it's a pretty good album. I love the more mellow sounding songs on here, the dreamy, almost whispery summer tunes. But tracks like Tight As and Meat City just don't fit in with the flow of the album for me. They're just on a different sound and vibe altogether, and I'm not a big fan of Bring On The Lucy neither, but the rest of the songs are really good. This one comes in at pretty decent, 6.5 out of 10. At number 6 on my list, we're going to go to 1974's Walls and Bridges. This is quite an eclectic album, actually. I love the funky vibes of what you've got, the infectious saxophone on Whatever Gets You Through the Night, the jazzy soul of Bless You, the loneliness and sorrow in Scared, which could quite easily have fitted on the Plastic Ono band album also. Then we get back to the mellow wispy sounds on number 9, Dream, the dirge and dirty grungy rock on Steel and Grass. The only downside to me for this album, it's a really good album, quite eclectic, very clever, very good. The only downside is the final track, Ya Ya, which is a cover, which only goes on for about a minute and a half from memory. I really don't like it. It doesn't fit with anything on the album, but from memory, doesn't Julian Lennon play drums on that? So that just gives it a bit of, that bonding type thing between John Lennon. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section below. But I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Julian does play drums on that little piece of music, basically. It's not really a full song. And the album comes in at pretty decent. 7.5 out of 10. Number 5 on my list, we're going to go to 1972, Sometime in New York City. It's his political album, also his proper rock album. It's a very good album, and I don't give a shit what the censors and wokies say, but Woman is the Nigger of the World is the title of the song, and that's how I will pronounce it. Don't cancel it. It's stupid. I'm sure if John was alive today, he would not allow that to have happened and had that song taken out of the Sometime in New York City live box set that's just been released. And You know, I can't believe that Yoko and Sean let it go ahead to cancel that song. That's just ridiculous. That is certainly not what John would have wanted. And if anybody knows what the song is about, then you'd understand the title of the song. So, Woman is the Nigger of the World. I'm not going to be like all these other people who cover that up so you can't see it, or woman is the word we can't say of the world and stuff like that. Fuck off. The song is called Woman is the Nigger of the World, and it's a fucking brilliant song as it is. Don't cancel culture it at all. Right, now we've got that out of the way. Yoko's songs are pretty good on here as well. Sister, Oh Sister, We're All Water. Absolutely brilliant in my opinion. They work really well with the album. Well, on the first album anyway. The second disc is a live album. The first side of live songs is really, really good. The second side with the jam is just... it's unlistenable to me. I really don't like that at all. So taking that into account, because it was released as a double album, had it have only been the one record of studio recordings, this would quite possibly be number 2 on my list. But with the live album, it drops down to number 5. But I still love it overall. Still comes in at a very good 8 out of 10 for me. So, number 4 on my list. I'm going to go to 1984. Milk and Honey. This wasn't released till obviously 4 years after his death. But John was working on this album right up till the day he died. So it was something he wanted to release, I believe. From what I've read, it was something he wanted to get out as soon as possible after Double Fantasy, to have a bang bang 1-2 hit basically. This album and the tracks on Double Fantasy really show the potential of what was to come with John as a singer-songwriter. He was now getting more reflective in life. He was looking at things that mattered to him as opposed to trying to be political or trying to be outspoken about anything. He was concentrating on life, love, and the future for him as a 40-year-old man. I think Stepping Out and Nobody Told Me are certainly the standout tracks on here. Grow Old With Me really does have a different meaning once he died. You know, it's just really sad song. But just like Double Fantasy, this album is a John song, Yoko, John, Yoko, John, Yoko, and I think it works really well. Yoko's songs on this album are really good also. Oh Sanity is very, very good, and You're the One, very, very good album. Highly underrated. It's worth a listen if you haven't heard it. So at number 3 on my list, most people would put this album at number 1 or number 2. We go to 1971 with Imagine. The thing that lets this album down for me, I love... how many tracks are on here? I can't remember. Is there 10 tracks on here? 5 on that side, 5 on that side. So 10 tracks on the album. 2 tracks let this album down for me, and they are I Don't Want to Be a Soldier. That really doesn't fit with the sound of the album. It's just like a tacked on track, in my opinion. So I don't like that at all, and it just doesn't sit well on the album. Maybe if it was put at the end of side 2 as opposed to the end of side 1 right in the middle of the album, it might have been different, but I don't know. And I have not been a fan of the title track Imagine at any point in my life since I first heard it around 1977-78, I guess. I've never liked that song, and I still don't like it to this day. I don't understand all the hatred towards the song How Do You Sleep, which was a dig at Paul McCartney, because come on, let's face it guys, Paul McCartney was basically the first one to start pointing fingers at John on his, Ram album, etc., and before that as well. So you know, what does he want to do? You poke the bear's going to bite back, and John Lennon bit back in a probably the best way imaginable. He really called it as he saw it, so I don't have a problem with that. But every other song on this album, apart from the two I said I don't like, absolutely majestic. Love them all. Great album. For most artists, this would be an album of a career, but to me, it's not quite there, and it is still a 9 out of 10 album. Number 2 on my list, I'm going for Double Fantasy, his comeback album. This was released in 1980. John's songs on here absolutely magnificent, right from the Buddy Holly style, sounding just like Starting Over, I'm Losing You, Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy is absolutely majestic. Watching the Wheels, Dear Yoko, Woman, absolutely incredible. And Yoko's songs are really good on here as well. Obviously not as good as John's, but they're up there on their own level. Although I don't love them, I really like them. And if you read the words to, say, John's song, any John song on there, and then read the words to the Yoko song that follows it, it's almost like a yin and yang thing. It's sort of, say, John's version of, let's say, I'm Losing You, for example, and then Yoko, I'm Moving On. It's a male and a female perspective on that particular subject. So I think it's really good, and it works. It was a very clever album in my opinion, and again, highly underrated, simply because of the fact Yoko's name's on here and she sings. She does this album justice in my opinion. So that leaves my number 1 album. Hardly surprising. Most people nowadays put this album at number 1. I've always put it at number 1. That's Plastic Ono Band from 1970. This is his Primal Scream album. It's drenched in emotion, raw pain, hurt and frustration, and you can hear it in every word he says and or sings and or screams and shouts. You can even hear it in the music at times as well. This is Lennon laying out his soul for all to hear. You know, it can be a really difficult listen, but not difficult in the way that it's a bad album. Difficult in the way that it is emotionally draining on your brain as you're listening to it. That was obviously his intention, and it works really well. It's a masterclass of an album, and certainly within my top, I don't know, 20 albums of all time. Probably, in my opinion, the greatest solo album by any Beatle. Anyway guys, that's my comes in 9.8 out of 10 actually as well, so it's almost the perfect album. Anyway guys, that's my look at the 8 proper studio albums by John Lennon. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of them. You already know my thoughts on them. If you think I've got something wrong, let me know as well. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care, all for now, catch you around, and bye folks.